So, Destiny is free this month on PlayStation. Now, it's free as long as you subscribe. There's that caveat there. But here's why I think Destiny is free. Uh-oh. The Destiny fans are probably about to raid me. Anyways. Sorry. Anyways, let me get back to the video. Sorry. I gotta be serious about this. But before I even jump in, I have good friends that play Destiny. I have a fellow content creator that's actually very passionate about Destiny. And I'm literally, before I actually release this video, I'm going to actually hit him up and I'm going to send him a copy and say, hey, I'm probably about to bash a little bit on Destiny. I mean, just so you know, I know he's not like soft, he's not like, a softie. He's a hardcore dude. But I wanted to let him know, hey, I may say something that's offensive. And if there's something that I say that's blatantly like wrong, stop me now before this video goes out. If he lets the video go out, all blame is going to be shifted on him. In fact, I'm going to link his channel here just to even do that to him because I like him like that. He's a good friend of mine. Anyways, one of the reasons I think Destiny 2 is free right now is shocking. So let me start up. So I went to go trade in my regular PlayStation for a PS Pro. I took some old games. They sold for some money, and then I showed them Destiny 1, and I was like, what's this going to sell for? The guy at GameStop looked, he scoffed and said probably 50 cents. I was like, I guess I'll take it and keep it as a monument to, the state of the gaming industry in the last few years and, teach my children these things and say, people are going to try to fleece you and, here's an example, yada, 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 I don't know, whatever. Now I know Taken King was the DLC that came back and redeemed Destiny 1 franchise. And I'm not trying to just beat on Destiny just because the community actually is passionate about this game. Now, I'm in a community of gamers for The Division that's very passionate about it. FIFA, Pro Evolution. So 3 communities where I'm actually passionate about. So I can understand if somebody who's outside comes in and makes, a video like, it has no concept about what it is. In fact, I just did the IGN video saying the reviewers didn't seem like they had much vested in the community. So my statements here are just going to be based on perception. So spare and bear with me, okay? Just spare yourself the heartache if I sound like, an ignorant fool, and just stop the video. But if you want to keep going, hear me out. You may be able to teach me something in the comment section as well. I think this game is free because of, one, it failed its community. A lot of people have put out many, opinions as to why. I just think it just didn't do its community justice in the sense that the developers were much more driven, or the company Activision, I don't know who makes these decisions, but I know Bungie, can make some kind of autonomous decisions or whatever. But I think all in all, whoever was making the decision was much more interested about getting money from the consumers rather than giving them a good game. Because the gaming community is very forgiving, and many of the developing companies and publishing companies, they know that. And they know, when time passes, a lot of these things are going to pass because, it's a minor discrepancy. Nobody wants to sit here fighting over a video game because at some point you got to say, chill, dude, it's just a video game, right? And so they brought out the Destiny 2 franchise, and then they brought out multiple DLCs of DLCs that in my mind are just pretty much cash grabs. And so now what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell more DLC by giving this game out for free. Because For Honor did it. You know that, right? For Honor on Steam was free. I even went in there to download it. I was like, oh, babe, For Honor is... I was telling my wife, I was like, For Honor is free. For Honor is free. And she was like, but you already own it. It's like, oh, yeah. I played that game like maybe 45 minutes and I was like, this game is not for me. I know there are people who love the game and whatever. But that's what they did. They pretty much gave the game out. And I saw a report somewhere saying that For Honor was free. I can't remember exactly where. I'm going to search for it and try to put it up here. And they said they were hoping that they would buy the next season of, of the game. So what Ubisoft is doing is they're bringing out these games as a service model. It's working in Rainbow Six Siege. It's a shooter. So I guess it passes. I guess we can let that slide. And For Honor is a big RPG, hack and slash combat game. Very good combat, by the way. I'm not going to lie. I think it's good. And so they're using that model and they're trying to bring it, and that For Honor game, giving it out for free, is supposed to be a hook. And here Bungie and Activision are trying to do the same thing shamelessly. Because I don't think they've actually earned doing this. I don't think they've actually earned getting more people on their platform. That's how I feel. I may be wrong. I'm not saying that Destiny is inherently a bad game. No, it's actually, you know, it's a good game in any sense, I can say. But this game had the opportunity to smash the Division. You know, Destiny 2 was supposed to be the Division killer, but the Division brought out an update and Destiny couldn't even stand. Everybody was mocking the Destiny community. That did not make me laugh. I mean, I know there's a Destiny Division community banter back and forth. In fact, I was saddened because I like the competition. The competition keeps everybody humble. One of my biggest frustrations with Pro Evolution is Konami doesn't seem to want to be competitive, because I think for them it's probably too risky to be competitive against EA. They're just okay taking whatever, you know, profits that they can make and tweaking their games little by little. But the competition is what actually makes the video game industry interesting, because right now EA is feeling that competition. And even them here, you know, even the Destiny creators, right now they don't have anybody competing with them with the second franchise. Only Tom Clancy's The Division is looking next year to come out, and Anthem. And so they're not feeling much of the competition right now. So they can go ahead and, you know, make moves like this. But this is a game that was out just a year. It was out just a year ago. I'm going to download it because it's a free game-ish, free-ish game. But that just goes to show that these companies, many of them don't care. They don't learn. In fact, there's speculation that there's a Destiny 3, you know, in the works, and people are still going to buy this game regardless of all the fiasco. I can genuinely say, and I hope a Destiny veteran comments on this video to say that this company has not treated its community base fairly. From the reports that I've been reading, from all what's going on the tubes, you know, it's evident. And I just see this and I go to and I look at myself and I say, wow, these guys are trying to hook more people into their game, and they're not necessarily willing to part with good stuff, like good content. They're not really interested in actually doing what game development companies do. Look at good games that have been made in the past few years. They've done good work and they've actually delivered to their community. Look at CD Projekt Red. Look at games in the Sony universe like Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War. What's so different from these studios? I know they're console exclusives, whatever, but what is so much different from these companies? Do these guys not have, you know, people that are sound in reasoning? I think what the difference is, you know, the AAA machine. I think that's where the difference is. The AAA machine just finds all kinds of fun gimmicks. So by all means, you know, you can get the game. I'm going to download a copy, but I am not paying a cent to Activision and Bungie for this. So I just wanted to point that out. Please read the article. You know, I think this is very telling. You know, also before I even finish this video out, I want to say the list, because of these practices though, you know, bringing out, you know, poorly made games or bringing out broken games and then patching them later, the listings and the offerings on PS Plus have actually been very good. I think it's a desperate move, and Sony is capitalizing on it because, you know, they're using that to get PS Plus subscriptions, which I don't know if it's speculation. I can't remember. I need to do my research and be sure. But I think PlayStation Plus subscriptions at one point, based on an article that I read somewhere, were not as high as they, you know, had, you know, projected. So maybe the good offerings, or the so-called good offerings, or the AAA offerings that failed because of gouging practices, are probably going to help Sony, and Sony can just, on the other hand, turn around and continue making good games. Now, one thing though I must say with Sony is they're not saints in that sense, in this, you know, because the Spider-Man whole debacle and DLC being announced before the game comes out, to me that doesn't really, you know, sit well. But I will say for God of War, games like The Order 1887 or 18 something, whatever, I played that game. A lot of people probably didn't like it. I enjoyed that game so much. I wish they'll make a second one, honestly. You all need to go ahead and make a second one. Take a risk, because you guys took a risk on the first one and you got community feedback. So I would tell you guys over at I can't remember the name of the studio that did that for Sony, and Uncharted and all those good games. So here we go, Destiny trying to hook people to come back into the game. I know if you're a Destiny person, you're probably going to chew me out in this video, but please just teach me something that I don't know. I mean, be nice. I'm just an outsider looking into the community, but I know that there are some things that have happened that a lot of people would agree with. So that's a video that I wanted to put out, you know, pretty much just exposing some of these shady practices. And I'm not saying giving out a free game is a shady practice, but these guys haven't earned trying to hook players back in there. If anything, Ubisoft, I think, with For Honor, maybe to an extent, but not all the way, have earned the right to say, okay, let's get some more players in here. But these guys here, not from my perspective anyways. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your time and your audience. Click the subscribe button and like the video if you did, and hit the dislike if you didn't as well. Leave a comment too so I can know, and I can learn. Thank you very much for your time and your audience. I'm going to get out of here now. Peace.